Have you ever noticed how one small disruption during the night can throw off your entire next day? Waking up to pee once or even multiple times may seem like a harmless habit, something you simply associate with aging or perhaps drinking too much water before bed. But what if this repeated interruption isn't just inconvenient, but a signal from your body that something deeper is out of balance? Let me share something important right away. If you stay with me until the end, I'm going to give you a powerful bonus tip, something most people overlook, but that could greatly amplify the effects of everything we'll talk about here today. It's easy to apply and can be a game changer for your nights. But for now, let's dive into something that affects more people than we think and rarely gets the attention it deserves. Waking up several times to urinate, especially during the night, has a name: nocturia. It's not a disease in itself, but rather a symptom, like a whisper from your body saying, "Hey, pay attention to me." And while many assume it's all about the bladder or perhaps the kidneys, the reality is often far more intricate. Here's why this matters. Interrupted sleep doesn't just leave you groggy. It disrupts your body's natural healing cycle. While you sleep, your body performs vital tasks, like regulating hormones, balancing blood sugar, and even detoxifying your brain through a process known as glymphatic clearance. Each time you wake up, even briefly, this healing rhythm is thrown off course. Long-term, this pattern of poor sleep is associated with increased inflammation, weakened immune response, and a higher risk for chronic diseases, including hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and even cognitive decline. Yes, something as simple as getting up to pee might be a sign that your brain's future health is at risk. But what causes this repeated urge to urinate at night? Well, most people assume it's due to drinking fluids too late or having a small bladder. But here's a fact that surprises many. Your diet, particularly what you eat in the first hours of the day, can influence your night. That's right. One of the most overlooked causes of nocturia isn't what you consume at night, but what you start your day with. And for most Americans, the day begins with something that seems innocent, but could be quietly contributing to your nighttime troubles. It's time we take a closer look at our routines. And not just the evening ones. Let's face it, modern habits aren't doing our health any favors. From artificial sweeteners to heavily processed breakfast options, the typical Western diet is full of hidden triggers that confuse your body's natural regulation systems. Your blood sugar spikes, your hormones fluctuate, and your organs work overtime to restore balance, especially while you sleep. And this matters because every time your body needs to stabilize something, it uses water. That's right. Your body draws on its hydration reserves to help rebalance these internal disruptions. The result? A bladder that fills faster, even if you didn't drink more. What's worse, many people ignore these signs. They think it's just part of getting older, or they reach for sleep aids that only mask the problem instead of resolving it. And this cycle leads to greater dependency on external solutions without ever understanding what the body is truly asking for. But here's the good news. Once you identify the hidden causes and start supporting your body naturally, the improvements can be felt quickly, often within days. All it takes is awareness, a few simple changes, and a willingness to listen to the signals your body has been giving all along. Because the truth is, your body wants to heal. It just needs the right conditions. And the first step? Understanding the real triggers that are setting off your bladder's alarm in the middle of the night. In a moment, you'll discover one of the most unexpected and most common morning habits that might be undermining your sleep without you even realizing. Skipping over it won't just slow down your progress, it might actually make things worse over time. So stick with me, because what comes next is one of the most important insights for your long-term health and comfort. If you're like most people, your morning ritual probably includes something sweet, quick, and convenient, like a bowl of cereal, a flavored yogurt, or perhaps a glass of orange juice. It feels like a fresh start, an energy boost to kick off your day. But what if this innocent routine is one of the root causes behind waking up multiple times to pee at night? Let's explore this deeper. Your body operates on cycles, circadian rhythms that control not just your sleep, but also your hormone release, body temperature, and kidney function. When you start your day with a high-glycemic food or drink, meaning something that spikes your blood sugar, you trigger a hormonal roller coaster that can echo well into the night. You see, when blood sugar rises rapidly, your body produces insulin to bring it back down. But that insulin surge can lead to a rebound dip in blood sugar later, which your body interprets as a stress event. In response, it releases adrenaline and cortisol, stress hormones that affect everything from your heart rate to your bladder control. Most people associate sugar with energy crashes or weight gain, but few realize its connection to urinary habits. When your blood sugar and hormones are fluctuating all day, it increases the workload on your kidneys, forcing them to filter and eliminate excess substances more aggressively. And yes, that includes producing more urine, sometimes much more, especially when your body finally tries to rest and reset during the night. Let's take a classic American breakfast: orange juice, toast, and maybe a banana. Sounds healthy, right? But this trio can flood your system with simple sugars, leading to a cascade of internal imbalances that extend far beyond digestion. The kicker? These imbalances can linger for hours, subtly disrupting your body's natural fluid regulation well into the evening. This is why so many people feel they've tried everything to fix their nighttime urination: cutting water after 6 p.m., avoiding caffeine, using the bathroom right before bed, and still wake up, sometimes more than once. Because the real issue might have started 14 hours earlier. But here's the surprising part. It's not just about sugar. Many breakfast foods contain additives like sodium phosphate, artificial dyes, or synthetic sweeteners. These compounds may irritate the bladder lining or subtly alter kidney function, contributing to an overactive or sensitive urinary system. So even low-sugar diet options aren't necessarily safe havens. Now, before you panic and swear off breakfast altogether, know this: the solution isn't about extreme restriction. It's about making intentional, smarter choices. Something as simple as swapping a sugary yogurt for one with live cultures and no added sugars can support your gut health and reduce systemic inflammation. Choosing steel-cut oats instead of sugary cereals provides steady energy without the blood sugar spike. Adding protein, healthy fats, and fiber in the morning helps create a hormonal balance that lasts through the day and into the night. These small shifts can drastically change how your body manages fluid retention and elimination, especially during sleep. And if you're wondering how fast these changes take effect, many people begin noticing improvements in their sleep within just a few days of altering their morning routine. Now imagine combining that with targeted natural strategies, simple, evidence-informed habits that support your bladder, kidneys, and hormonal balance. That's where things get really interesting. Because if the first key is reducing the triggers, the second is identifying which systems are out of sync and what's quietly pulling the strings behind your nighttime wake-ups. You're about to uncover something truly surprising. Most people assume it's their bladder waking them up, but the truth is, it might be their brain. And when that internal communication breaks down, no amount of bathroom trips or dietary tweaks will fully solve the problem. What comes next is essential. Skip it. And not only will your progress stall, it could lead to further imbalances down the road. Let's get to it. Many people believe that when they wake up at night to urinate, it's simply because their bladder is full. But the truth might be far more surprising and much more connected to how your brain is functioning. What if the signal to urinate wasn't coming from your bladder at all, but from a deeper miscommunication between your brain and your body's natural rhythm? Inside your brain, a small gland called the pituitary plays a crucial role in managing your body's hydration. It releases a hormone known as vasopressin, also called the antidiuretic hormone. Its job is fairly simple. It tells your kidneys to retain water during the night so you don't have to wake up and urinate. Under healthy conditions, vasopressin production increases during sleep, naturally reducing nighttime urine output. But here's where things get interesting. Vasopressin doesn't work in isolation. It follows the body's circadian rhythm, your internal clock, and that clock can be disrupted by more than just stress or a poor night's sleep. It can be thrown off by late-night screen use, erratic meal times, or even excessive exposure to artificial lighting after sunset. Imagine this. Every time you scroll through your phone before bed or fall asleep with the television on, your body gets confused. It no longer knows it's nighttime. And when that confusion persists, your brain might stop increasing vasopressin production during sleep. Without that hormonal signal, your kidneys continue filtering and creating urine as if it's daytime. That means your bladder fills faster, even if you didn't drink more water. And the result is that familiar 2 a.m. trip to the bathroom. It's not because you overhydrated. It's because your body never got the message that it was time to rest. There's also a deeper layer to this. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can interfere with vasopressin levels. High nighttime cortisol, often triggered by anxiety, chronic stress, or even unresolved emotional tension, can reduce the release of vasopressin. And in doing so, it leads to more frequent urination at night. So, while most people are trying to manage their bladder, they're overlooking the real source of the issue, their overstimulated nervous system. This is why some individuals feel exhausted all day, fall into bed desperately wanting to sleep, yet find themselves restless and waking up for reasons that seem beyond their control. Supporting your brain's natural rhythm starts with small, manageable shifts. Dimming lights after sunset, using blue light filters on screens, and committing to a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends, can begin to restore balance. Adding a short wind-down ritual before bed, such as light stretching or calming music, can signal to your brain that it's time to relax. Also important is what you avoid. Late-night emails, high-intensity workouts in the evening, or emotionally charged conversations right before bed can all keep your nervous system in a heightened state. That state delays the natural release of sleep-supportive hormones and can prevent vasopressin from rising to its optimal nighttime levels. Now, think about the larger picture. If your brain's signals are being blocked, misread, or ignored, your body isn't functioning in harmony. It's trying to protect you by eliminating what it believes is excess fluid. But in truth, it's a response to internal stress and miscommunication. The result? You're stuck in a cycle of broken sleep, frustrated mornings, and confusion about what's really going wrong. And worse, without knowing the real cause, many people turn to short-term fixes that further disturb their hormonal balance. Over-the-counter sleep aids, sedatives, or extreme fluid restrictions that often leave them dehydrated and groggy. But your body is remarkably responsive. Just a few days of sleep-supportive behaviors can reignite your brain's natural rhythm. You'll not only sleep deeper, you'll also reduce nighttime urination without any pills or drastic changes. And when you align your internal clock, every system in your body benefits. Your immune system, your metabolism, your mental clarity, all of it begins to improve. That's the beauty of working with your body, not against it. Still, there's one system we haven't talked about yet, a system that could be silently fueling inflammation, hormonal imbalance, and even bladder irritation. And if that's out of sync, everything else, your brain, your kidneys, your sleep, can fall apart. What comes next is essential to tie it all together. Overlooking it could limit all the progress you've made so far and even create side effects you weren't expecting. Now that we've explored how your brain might be sending the wrong signals, let's look at another area that's often ignored but deeply involved in nighttime urination: your gut. It might seem unrelated at first. After all, what does digestion have to do with your bladder? But the answer is a lot more than you think. Inside your digestive tract lives a vast ecosystem of microorganisms, your gut microbiome. These trillions of bacteria aren't just responsible for digestion. They play a critical role in regulating inflammation, balancing hormones, and even communicating with your brain. This gut-brain axis is one of the most powerful systems in your body, and when it's out of balance, you feel it everywhere. When your gut is healthy, your body produces anti-inflammatory compounds, processes nutrients efficiently, and regulates hormones like estrogen and cortisol with ease. But when the gut becomes imbalanced, what's known as dysbiosis, it starts to produce low-grade inflammation that can spread silently through your entire system. And here's where the bladder comes in. Chronic inflammation from the gut can affect the lining of your bladder, making it more sensitive, more reactive, and more likely to send signals to your brain, even when it's not full. This explains why some people feel the urge to urinate with only a small amount of fluid present. Their bladder isn't the problem. It's the systemic inflammation irritating the entire network of nerves and tissues. Even more surprising? Some of the bacteria in your gut directly influence your hydration balance. Certain strains help you retain minerals and fluids. Others, especially those that overgrow due to poor diet or antibiotic use, can promote the release of compounds that increase urination or disrupt hormonal signals. Let's bring this back to daily habits. Highly processed foods, artificial sweeteners, excessive alcohol, and chronic stress are all known to damage the gut lining and promote dysbiosis. So even if you're eating what looks like a balanced meal, if it includes these triggers, your gut may still be reacting in ways that ripple throughout your body, especially during the quiet hours of the night. The good news is that the gut responds incredibly well to support. Adding fermented foods like sauerkraut, kefir, or unsweetened yogurt can begin to reintroduce beneficial bacteria. Prebiotic fibers from foods like onions, garlic, asparagus, and oats help feed those good bacteria and crowd out the harmful ones. Staying hydrated throughout the day, not just before bed, also keeps your digestive and urinary systems functioning in sync. But it's not only about food. Emotional stress and poor sleep hygiene also affect the gut. Stress increases intestinal permeability, sometimes referred to as leaky gut, allowing particles to enter the bloodstream that would normally be filtered out. This triggers immune responses, elevates inflammation, and can influence how frequently you feel the urge to urinate. That's why a whole-body approach works best. Supporting your gut health doesn't just help with digestion, it can calm your nervous system, balance your hormones, and even reduce inflammation in your bladder. It's all connected. Many people are shocked when, after a few weeks of supporting their gut, they begin sleeping through the night without interruption for the first time in years. Their energy improves. Their mood lifts, and that constant background noise, the body's quiet signals of imbalance, starts to fade. This kind of healing isn't about perfection. It's about consistency, awareness, and knowing what to support first. And if your gut is part of the problem, you'll want to be careful with what you add to your routine. There's a powerful natural option that has helped thousands of people regulate their urinary patterns, especially when used in its proper form. But most people get it wrong. They use the wrong part of the plant, or they brew it incorrectly, and then give up when it doesn't work. The next step is one of the most critical pieces in this journey. Miss it, and all the progress you've made so far could be undermined. It's time to talk about a forgotten natural remedy that's been right under your nose this whole time, but only works when used correctly. After exploring how gut health and internal inflammation can quietly affect your bladder's behavior at night, it's time to look at a powerful but underestimated tool that nature has provided us. You've likely seen it in your kitchen, maybe even used it to garnish a dish. But few people realize its potential to support urinary health, especially when used with the right technique. Let's talk about parsley. Yes, that bright green herb sitting at the edge of your plate is far more than decoration. Parsley contains a natural compound called apiol, which acts as a mild diuretic and anti-inflammatory agent. But what sets it apart isn't just its ability to encourage gentle detoxification. It's how it helps regulate the flow of fluids in the body without triggering the kind of overactivity that keeps you running to the bathroom at night. Most over-the-counter diuretics strip the body of essential minerals like potassium and magnesium, which can lead to dehydration, muscle cramps, and even worse, bladder sensitivity. Parsley, when prepared correctly, supports fluid balance while preserving the nutrients your body needs to stay calm and stable. But here's the catch. Most people use parsley wrong. The dried version found in spice jars? Practically useless for this purpose. To unlock parsley's full therapeutic potential, you need the fresh leaves, and sometimes even the roots. And the preparation matters. You can't just sprinkle it on your meal and expect results. The secret lies in steeping it slowly, allowing the compounds to infuse the water without destroying them with high heat. Here's how to do it right. Take a generous handful of fresh parsley, organic if possible, and rinse it thoroughly. Chop it coarsely, including the stems, and place it into a pot with about 3 cups of water. Bring it just to a gentle simmer, then turn off the heat. Cover it and let it steep for 20 minutes. Strain and drink 1 cup in the afternoon and another a few hours before bed. Why those specific times? Because timing matters. Drinking this too close to bedtime can actually increase the urgency to urinate. But having it in the afternoon and early evening helps the body process fluids gradually, reducing the need to release them during sleep. It's about training your body to shift its elimination rhythm back to daytime, where it belongs. You might be wondering, can one simple herb really make a difference? Well, when combined with the changes you've already started making, reducing blood sugar spikes, resetting your circadian rhythm, and supporting your gut, it becomes the final push your system needs to rebalance. You're not just relying on parsley. You're using it to support a system that's finally aligned and ready to heal. And parsley isn't the only helpful plant. Others like dandelion root, corn silk, and horsetail also support urinary health, but they require similar care in preparation. Natural remedies only work when we respect their nature. Throwing boiling water on delicate leaves or storing them improperly strips away the very elements that make them effective. This is why so many people give up on natural options. They try them in the wrong form, at the wrong time, or without the foundational changes that make healing possible. Then they assume they don't work. But when done right, the results can feel almost magical. People often report lighter sleep, fewer nighttime interruptions, and a calmer bladder within days. And while individual responses vary, the bigger win is the confidence that comes from understanding your body and supporting it holistically. Because your health doesn't depend on one magic bullet, it's the result of consistent, intentional actions. Each habit, each ingredient, each moment of awareness, it all builds toward restoring the balance your body has been craving. Still, there's one more piece to this puzzle, something I promised you at the very beginning. A bonus tip that's often overlooked, but when used correctly, it amplifies the effect of everything you've just learned. Ignoring it won't just limit your results, it could cause your system to slip back into imbalance. What I'll share next could make all the difference in your healing journey. Now that you know how powerful a simple herb like parsley can be when used with care, it's time to reveal the bonus tip I promised from the very beginning. This final piece isn't a new food or another herb, but something far more foundational. It's about how you combine everything you've learned to create the environment your body needs to truly reset. And the secret lies in something many people overlook: timing. You've probably heard the phrase, timing is everything. When it comes to your health, especially your sleep and urinary rhythm, that couldn't be more accurate. All the dietary changes, natural infusions, and gut support mean little if they're introduced at the wrong moment in your body's daily rhythm. So, here's what you need to know. Your body has natural windows when it's primed for detoxification, repair, hydration, and elimination. Ignoring these windows can sabotage even the best intentions, but aligning with them, that's when healing accelerates. Let's start with hydration. Most people drink the bulk of their water in the second half of the day, but your kidneys work best in the morning and early afternoon. Drinking more water before 3 p.m. gives your body ample time to process and eliminate fluids without burdening your bladder at night. This doesn't mean you stop drinking altogether in the evening. It just means you shift the bulk of your hydration to earlier in the day. Now, think about meals. Heavy, late dinners can push your digestive system to keep working while your body is supposed to be resting. That late effort interferes with melatonin production, delays vasopressin release, and keeps your bladder active. Aim to finish your final meal at least 3 hours before bed and make it lighter than lunch. Even your wind-down routine matters. If you jump from bright lights and screen time directly into bed, you're missing a crucial step, signaling to your brain that it's time to switch modes. Just 20 to 30 minutes of calm transition, dimming lights, deep breathing, light stretching, or quiet reading can prepare your body for deep, uninterrupted sleep. Here's the bonus technique that ties all of this together: thermal regulation. In simple terms, temperature. Before sleep, your body naturally lowers its core temperature. But if you're too warm, your body can't reach deep rest. Using a warm foot bath or warm compress on the belly 30 minutes before bed triggers blood flow to the extremities, helping your core cool down. That signals your brain to release melatonin and vasopressin, helping you stay asleep longer and avoid waking up to pee. This gentle thermal shift can be especially powerful when combined with the parsley infusion you learned earlier. The warm liquid, consumed at the right time, paired with temperature balancing, creates a strong signal to your nervous system. It's time to rest. And when your body believes it's safe to rest, it stops scanning for threats. That includes unnecessary bladder signals. Think of it like tuning an instrument. Each habit you've learned, the diet changes, the gut support, the natural herbs, and now the timing, are the strings. But only when they're in harmony do you hear the music clearly. That harmony is what leads to restorative sleep, balanced hormones, and a calm, quiet night. And what happens when your nights are no longer interrupted? Your days begin to change too. You wake up feeling rested, more focused, and ready to take on what comes. That morning, fog lifts, your cravings reduce, your immune system strengthens. It's not just about sleep, it's about every part of your life working better. So here's the takeaway. Your body has been asking for help in subtle ways, through fatigue, brain fog, nighttime wake-ups, and irritability. Now you have the tools to listen, and more importantly, to respond with wisdom, not worry. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Respect your body's rhythm. Support it with the right tools at the right times. And remember, when you share knowledge like this with others, you're helping more people find their path back to balance. If this information helped you, take a second to pass it on. Like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to stay connected. Because when we learn together, we heal stronger. And better nights are only the beginning of what's possible when you start listening to your body.